One thing that speaks well of the WNBA interest is that the Fever and Sky can still do good numbers without Caitlyn Clark and without Angel Reese. Now, obviously, all games with Caitlyn Clark do better than all other games. The Fever continue to do better than all other teams, even without Caitlyn Clark. But when Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese have gone head to head, those games have done the best amongst the regular season games for the most part. And that wasn't the case, of course, with the Fever beating the Sky the other day. Nonetheless, 1.5 million viewers for Fever Sky, continuing this upward trend in the numbers year over year, which is what ESPN is measuring in a press release. This time they didn't exclude 2024 because, Caitlyn Clark was out. They're directly comparing it to their WNBA numbers from the prior year. But it has to speak well for the league that that interest isn't falling off a cliff with Clark on the sideline. That, is a positive story. I don't think there's any other way to spin that. Of course, when you look at the numbers coming out around that game, this is the PR spin, and they're going to spin it positively. But sixth most watched regular season game on ABC ever, fourth most watched regular season game on ABC this season to date. WNBA countdown up 9% versus last year's ABC regular season average, 17% versus the regular season average year over year, like I mentioned there. So good numbers across the board, and a good sign that, interest around the Fever remains high, even with Caitlyn Clark sidelined, meaning that the fans are now invested in the team. Of course, the number's higher when Caitlyn Clark is involved. But somebody who has benefited immensely from Caitlyn Clark and being on the Fever is Sophie Cunningham, who continues to see her star rise. Sophie walks in with a shirt, an Arby shirt the other day, and that goes viral. Her moment throwing JC Sheldon to the floor goes viral. Now she's got pro wrestling promoters reaching out to her to try and line up a deal. It just goes to show you Sophie's spunk, her energy, her willingness to stand up for Caitlyn Clark, and her overall ability on the court for such a high-profile team has risen her star power. And that's one of the benefits to being in Clark's orbit and being a member of the Fever, where your entire profile can get raised. So many more people are now appreciating Kelsey Mitchell's game. That's another example of that, because Kelsey Mitchell is a certified hooper. But in Sophie Cunningham's case, you see, the evidence of this continue to come through. She just walks in wearing that shirt, and that blows up everywhere. I found it amusing as well. What are you going to say? And then the wrestling thing hits close to home for me because I'm a wrestling fan. And Sophie Cunningham may already have the slam of the summer with JC Sheldon, but it was Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, who reached out in part. She said, we would love to have Sophie. She tagged the wrong name. Join us at Women of Wrestling. That's the promotion that she's a co-owner of. And she said she tagged the incorrect screen name, but the other co-owner was quoted at Comic-Con talking about Sophie being Caitlyn Clark's enforcer, the Marty McSorley to Wayne Gretzky, and being a stunning athlete, keeping Caitlyn Clark safe on the court. So it goes a long way what Sophie Cunningham has done for the Indiana Fever. So I just thought that was amusing. Of course, Sophie and company, their next game will be against DeWanna Bonner, who Fever fans are not going to feel fondly about, nor should they, right? Like DeWanna Bonner, you can say whatever you want. She quit on the Fever, however you want to spin it. So Stephanie White's even getting some criticism for paying lip service. Of course, she's not going to throw her under the bus. Bonner's a respected vet, played for her before. But, the comments aren't going to be beloved by Fever fans.
DB's obviously coming back here for the first time. So how have you seen her fit in with Phoenix and whatnot with the game plan against her?
I think she's fit in perfectly with Phoenix. I mean, she does a really good job. Her and AT play so well together. And she does a really good job
Her
of
and AT.
adding a different dimension with her ability to be that stretch four, to complement, and her and Sachi being able to play on the floor at the same time with AT. She's comfortable there. She's comfortable in that system. It's going to be different to game plan against her. Her and AT both, really honestly. After having been on the sideline with them for a couple of years, it's going to be different to game plan against her. But I'm glad that she's happy, and I'm glad that she's found her spot.
So, happy for her and all that stuff. Look, the Fever have gotten better without DeWanna Bonner, so there's nothing really to be upset about. Whatever at this point in time. But obviously that blew up in everybody's face. There's no way to put that, and it's going to leave a sour taste with fans. I mean, what else are you going to say? Then there's Caitlyn Clark, who is out and about, was participating in something for the Caitlyn Clark Foundation, where some kids received backpacks. This was a cool gesture. A bunch of kids getting backpacks from Caitlyn. That video is courtesy of Jeff from KCCI, who also posted this other clip that went viral with some kids talking about Caitlyn Clark and her impact and all that. Just goes to show you the internet's not real life once again.
She might be better than Steph Curry.
Bro, she's better than Steph Curry. She is.
No. Better than
Caitlyn
LeBron?
Clark, we love her. We love you, Caitlyn Clark.
Yes, she's better than LeBron.
Yes, she is. I don't even care if she can't dunk, bro. She's better than LeBron.
It don't even matter.
It doesn't matter, bro. She's just a GOAT. Hey, bro, listen, she's gonna break
She's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Bro, she's gonna get MVP every single year.
I've
never watched my hand again. Hey, next year.
I've never watched her. I didn't even get a picture with her. Like, that's so.
Hey, next year, watch. Caitlyn Clark is gonna get on the 2K cover. I'm telling you guys right now. Caitlyn Clark is getting on the 2K cover right now. I'm telling you guys.
Next season. But nonetheless, there you see that. And then there was something else that people saw with CC at that event. I had to cross-reference the clothes to just confirm it was the same place. But she's kicking a soccer ball, as you can see here, with her right leg. The injured groin on that right leg. Clearly, that doesn't mean she's all the way healed, and that simple motion is not the same thing as playing in a WNBA basketball game. But it ain't a bad sign. It ain't a bad sign that Caitlyn Clark is on the mend. The good news is that the Fever continue to win games and are able to win games without Clark now, which bodes well for when she does indeed return, and also puts less pressure on her to return as quickly as possible, which I think she did early in the season. But moral of the story being that she doesn't seem to be moving that gingerly, which goes to show you she's probably pretty far along on the healing process and now has to get going on the rehab and ready to play process and the ramp up process, which can take a while in and of itself, especially when you're trying to make sure that you don't re-injure anything, given what's happened to Caitlyn Clark so far this season. But there you have it, a little bit of a roundup for you today. Please like and subscribe to the channel and continue to watch me, just like you're watching the Fever and those other WNBA games on TV.